Hey everyone, you can call me M. So I really don't like spending a lot of money on fresh fragrances. Maybe if this channel goes somewhere and I'm swimming in YouTube money, I'll change my mind. But right now, nah. So I went looking for the best bang for your buck clone of a really good but really expensive fragrance, Louis Vuitton's Imagination. And after trying a few options, I ended up picking this. Jacques Yves Imaginary by Fragrance World. It costed me around 1500 rupees, which is about $16. And after wearing it for the past few weeks, I think this might genuinely be one of the best value fresh fragrances you can buy. There are quite a few Imagination clones on the market now, but this one has quietly become one of my favorites, especially when you factor in just how little it costs. So the question is it actually good or is it just cheap? Let's find out. This fragrance comes from Fragrance World, and this entire Jacques Yves line are clones of Louis Vuitton's fragrances, and they are not exactly trying to hide this. I have already made a video for another one of their fragrances, La Infinite, which is a clone of Louis Vuitton's Lemon Cité. If you want to watch that review, I have put a link for that in the description down below. Presentation for this fragrance is clean and elegant, nothing flashy, but it certainly doesn't feel like a bargain bin fragrance either. Now let's talk about the scent. Now this is where the fragrance really starts to impress me. The opening immediately greets you with a beautiful blend of ginger and bergamot. It's bright, it's airy, uplifting, and it feels incredibly fresh. But what I really like is that this isn't just another citrus fragrance. A lot of inexpensive fresh fragrances basically smell like lemon cleaner for the first 15 minutes before disappearing into nothing. This doesn't. The bergamot gives it a vibrant citrus sparkle, while the ginger adds the slightly zesty, almost fizzy character that keeps the fragrance feeling alive. There is also this elegant soapy cleanliness running throughout the scent. That clean luxury feeling is honestly what makes Louis Vuitton's Imagination so addictive, and this fragrance captures that feeling surprisingly well. It smells crisp, refined, and effortless. It's one of those fragrances that simply smells expensive. As it starts drying down, the citrus softens, the ginger becomes smoother, and you are left with an incredibly clean, fresh scent that is easy to wear in almost every situation. If you have smelled Louis Vuitton's Imagination before, you will immediately recognize the DNA. Is it identical? No, but it absolutely captures the same overall character. Now let's talk about how does it compare to other Imagination clones. And this is where things get interesting. The Imagination clone market has become incredibly crowded over the last year. You've got Hawas Kobra, Art of Arabia from Latafa, you've got Mazaaj Infused by Zemaya, Marwa by Arabiat Prestige, Essence de Blanc by French Avenue. There are genuinely a lot of options out there. The good news is that I don't think Jacques Yves Imaginary is massively behind any of them. In fact, in my personal opinion, it gets you pretty much the same destination. Do some of the more expensive ones smell a little smoother? Sure. Do they perform a little better? Sometimes. But the overall scent profile is incredibly close. And here's the important part. I paid around 1500 rupees, which works out to roughly $16 US. When you start comparing that to fragrances costing $30 or $35, you have to ask yourself whether the difference is really worth paying more than double. For me, it wasn't. That's actually how I approach fragrances in general. If I think a scent profile is truly worth spending extra money on because the performance or quality makes a significant difference, I'll happily do it. For example, I bought Hawas Elixir, which is inspired by Limal Elixir, because I genuinely think that DNA is worth paying more for. But fresh fragrances are different. With a fresh summer scent, if something gets 90% of the way there for half the money, I'm taking the cheaper bottle every time. And Jacques Yves Imaginary fits perfectly into that category. Performance was another pleasant surprise, although I do need to mention something first. When I initially received the bottle, I honestly wasn't impressed. The opening had a noticeable alcoholic blast, performance felt weak, and longevity wasn't anything special either. I was actually a little disappointed. But after letting the bottle sit for a while, everything changed. The fragrance became smoother, the alcohol disappeared, and performance improved noticeably. Right now, I'm getting around an hour of solid projection, which is honestly respectable for this type of fragrance. After that, it settles into a pleasant scent bubble before gradually becoming a skin scent. Longevity on my skin has been around 5 hours. On clothes though, it's noticeably better. I usually apply my fragrance around 10 o'clock in the morning, just before heading out. On multiple occasions, I could still clearly smell this fragrance on my skin around 3 PM. And on clothes, it was easily hanging around until 6 or 7 PM. For a fresh citrus fragrance, that's honestly difficult to complain about. One thing to keep in mind though, before anyone runs out and buys this expecting beast mode performance, keep your expectations a little realistic. This is still a fresh fragrance. Fresh fragrances naturally struggle more than darker, sweeter fragrances because the lighter ingredients evaporate more quickly. Your climate is also going to play a huge role. If you live somewhere that's extremely hot and humid, you might find yourself wanting to reapply halfway through the day. Personally, I don't see that as a problem, and that's also why I carry a travel atomizer with me. I would much rather reapply a fragrance I enjoy then wear something heavier that's completely wrong for the weather. When should you wear it? This is one of the easiest fragrances to wear. Office, college, running errands, vacations, beach days, brunch, casual dates, basically anywhere the weather is warm. It is incredibly versatile because it's so clean. Nothing about it is offensive. It's not overly sweet and it doesn't scream for attention. It just makes you feel fresh, well-groomed and put together. Overall, I think Jacques Yves Imaginary is one of the biggest bargains currently available if you're looking for a Louis Vuitton Imagination inspired fragrance. For around $16, you are getting a scent that's incredibly close to the original DNA, smells fresh, classy, uplifting, and performs surprisingly well after maceration, and honestly competes with clones costing twice as much. Could you spend more? Absolutely. There are other options like Hawas Kobra, Marwa, and Essence de Blanc, but personally, I don't think spending another $15 or $20 gives you enough of an improvement to justify it, especially for a fresh fragrance that's designed for everyday summer wear. If you're looking for the absolute best value for money, I think Jacques Yves Imaginary deserves a place near the top of the list. If you have tried this one or any other Imagination clones, let me know which one you prefer in the comments down below. I would really love to hear your experiences, especially if you have compared them side by side. And if you have enjoyed this review, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more fragrance reviews, and I'll see you guys in the next one.